wires that go over the top of the bale.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, somebody thought it would be a fun idea to set fire to them. With arson escalates, it can be extremely serious. Buildings, property, and animals and people.
The farm is hit repeatedly on Friday and Saturday nights.
This crime affects us, our livelihood, because it stops us doing what we should be doing. It's a financial implication of the loss of the feeder, the sheep being without food, wondering what else was going to happen. When it happened, the neighbour got in touch with me and said he'd got wildlife cameras, and I'd be more than welcome to borrow those. We set them up, and then it's happened again, and so we got footage. There's one bit where you can see them actually starting to set fire to the hay, and obviously it's dry, so it soon catches. It looks before,
As nothing is stolen, their motive is unclear.
I think the reason could possibly be boredom with excitement in a dark night.
Whatever the reason, it is still highly dangerous.
Quite cross. What I really wanted was for people to find out who the perpetrators were. And after we got this footage, I've got something to go to the police with, so I took the footage to the police.
Phil also puts it online. As the police search draws a blank.
When we put the footage on social media, we got a lot of feedback and comments from local people saying it was appalling behaviour. Obviously, people themselves or somebody that recognised them must have seen them on there, told them, and it stopped. The fact that this stopped because we put cameras in, it makes me feel good that I made the right decision. I think cameras are a fantastic addition to anybody's toolbox to try and stop crime.
The suspects haven't returned to the farm since.
I don't put these back in the fridge. And here's the spoon. If I put them in bed. Oh.
Which means you could be eating unregulated and unclean meat.
In the case of livestock theft, farmers that I've spoken to have been very worried about the welfare of the animals, whether they've been given feed and water as well, and it does have a huge emotional impact.
Over the past 2 to 3 years, livestock rustling has become a much bigger concern for livestock farmers across the UK. And I think that this probably stems from the increasing cost of food. Many farms are now prey to rustlers who will come onto their farms and take their animals. They will kill their sheep on the farm and then take the remains away. It's an extremely harrowing situation for a farmer. We believe that there is a big black market at the moment for illegal meat sales.
You haven't got him.
Hey,
I know you haven't got him.
you sure?
Yeah.
Together, and they will raid farms, and
Because
then
I'm positive
being sold
that
in urban areas.
I
Not only is the theft of livestock on
stuff
farms a concern
that
for farmers, but in many cases, some of the meat
I have
could
pile
actually
of.
be unsafe to eat.
The illegal meat trade puts everyone at risk of diseases reaching or spreading in the UK via food that hasn't been properly checked.
You don't know if that meat has been reared properly. You do not know if that meat has been stored correctly. It could be highly contaminated. It would be a real risk.
Steps can be taken to help, but with so many acres of open fields, it's not easy.
It can be a real challenge for farmers to keep one step ahead of the thieves, but we advise people to really see their security as layers of an onion. The more layers you've got, the better you can protect yourself. So farmers do this in a number of ways. Physical measures, so they'll fortify their farm. The use of technology, so it can be from CCTV.
I'm not sure when I was cleaning this out.
And that one. Look.
Yeah,
Another
keep
type
that
of
out.
theft that saw an increase across the UK
I am
in
fucking
recent
positive.
years
When I was cleaning these out,
Next time Lindsay
I had
comes,
some and I put them back.
90%.
next time Lindsay
Working
comes
dogs are
up,
often targeted.
Farmers Weekly
I
was
don't put it up.
elected to
Lindsay, that's how Lindsay, this one. Look.
incident, so farmers across the country are finding that they were in some instances they've been maybe 200 dogs in one region.
Right.
And if you're a farmer and you lose a working dog, the dog is very important to your
Chelsea,
business.
Yeah.
Suddenly that dog is there one moment and it's stolen.
That's me,
It's
and
not just
Jade.
the value of the dogs.
That's
Some
me,
of the
Jade
dogs,
and
sheepdogs,
Aaron in
can
that
be in
one.
excess of
And they took
£20,000.
on when we went to the
Farmer will
waxworks.
struggle to cope with the mental health aspects of losing that dog.
But there are measures being taken to help combat this devastating crime.
Dog chipping is held over the years to identify
Oh, wait till Jade sees these.
Jade's seen these.
certainly
Is she?
Yeah, she's got the one with, she's got another one.
quite big prices. I've come across stories where farmers actually are reunited with their working dogs, and it can be quite emotional.
Brilliant.
They'll find out when dogs can no longer
I'm wondering because there's not a picture in that one,
in most
so I'm wondering
yeah.
if one of them belongs
Yeah,
in
that's
that
it,
one.
yeah.
I'll put that one in that one,
Yeah, yeah.
and that one in that one.
makes it a
Oops, I
very
just put that upside down.
Faced with
They're
low
making another one,
consensual
okay,
veterinary
no.
across Britain, the Pet Theft Task Force was set up in
No, that one's in
2021
the right way.
to help
Put all
enforce
them
harsher
away.
sentences.
Give me the one with
Which one do you want?
One large-scale livestock theft is
blood
a
in it.
serious
That
and
one.
organised business. Sometimes people just take animals on a whim. In Derbyshire, this sheep napper films everything. And despite sounding like they might want to make a meal out of it, the man has another agenda. The sheep is released into a town centre with enough time to explore the high street before being reunited with its owner. To the man behind the camera, it might have been a prank for likes, but it landed him in court. He was given a 12-month community service order and fined 620 quid. See you next time for more Caught on Camera.
Hey.
Well,
Listen,
two suspects
we
refused to
take 'em out of
cooperate
that,
next
doesn't
on
it?
5 action, and a shocking crash leads to a frantic search as the officers deal
Yeah.
with more after-hours emergencies. In police, night shift 999.
I'm assuming that's Jade.
Yep. With the reason we've got that one's because hang your names on it.
There's Kyle.
Yeah. And who else?
What's the names on it? There's
Yeah.
Shanna.
Yeah.
There's Mary Ann.
Yeah. And him that we went.
There's Matthew.
Yeah, that's it.
Or the bigger version of that one.
No, it's the same one.
Yeah, it's just slightly different one.
Yeah, one big one small.
natural disaster. Epic proportion. We witnessed the effects of housing
Still got loads of
those who have
Yeah.
survived
Negative.
Mother Nature.
copies of all sorts.
Yeah, go on.
Inside out.
Yeah, that's right around. World's deadliest weather caught on
Aaron.
camera. Thursday at 10 on
Yeah.
5 action and
Alan, that one,
Yeah,
the black
that
and
right
white
there,
one.
yeah.
Restraint is needed now
In
on 5
fact,
action
you
and
bring
on
the
5
cover.
as two suspects go on the rampage in police. Night shift 999. Be prepared for offensive language and scenes of antisocial
Good
behaviour.
The Missy Delgado.
Yeah.
There's Kyle. There's Stephen.
Yeah.
There's Shanna.
Every night.
There's Jade. Not our Jade, the other
Yeah,
Jade.
the Jade, yeah.
We've got officers making sure it's an emergency, okay?
Where's our Jade?
Alpha Hotel 35, about 2 minutes out. Clock on.
So we're on the front somewhere. So we're on
Oh,
the
well, that's impossible. I can't pick me up. Oh, there she is, next to Stephen. Can't pick me up fucking daughter out of the line-up.
And protect us. Police and taser, stop! While we sleep. Get on the floor now! On the floor!
Being a police officer under the cover of darkness is so much more dangerous than it is during the day.
We filmed with Gloucestershire Constabulary. We've got one now detained following their 999 response teams.
Any mobiles available to attend a grade 1 because we've got a site.
Hotel 31, we just got one running. And with specialist units.
Oh, yeah.
This takes a track.
Just shows you.
I've not been, what's it? I have kept all pictures and stuff. I've not been.
Being called for his coronation, but for now,
Do you want four?
he's heading the family support for his father.
Yeah.
Dropping in the job in Duck. Other than
That's
so
that one for me. So we've only got
all those
the other one to watch.
will be working hard this weekend. They travelled there on the
These
Elizabeth
may be the
line,
ones he's
the
after.
capital's newest transport link, which, with the wider transport system, will be dealing with the large large numbers who were expected to travel to London to
I've
watch
only got
the
that one.
ceremony. At Westminster Abbey, the king was spotted. He'd been meeting
Bloodline.
several
When
wild
Detective
ones.
Fitzroy sees one of his colleagues
And
plant
inside
evidence
the
on a
abbey,
suspect, he
construction work
hires
is complete. The seats
Eliza
are set
to
out in
look
the
into
nave,
the case
and
of
BBC
police corruption
cameras have
in
been
Scotland Yard.
They
The
may be
Dean
the
of
ones who's
Westminster
after.
says the service will be spectacular.
What you will see, frankly, will be jaw-dropping. The interesting thing is whether you can get slightly under the visual and see some of the strength of the tradition.
And, says the Dean, the King and Queen Consort understand the symbolism.
I know because I have been close by in a number of rehearsals. Just how important this is to them, which we found deeply understood. There's going to be, as I say, a lot of pattern. There's going to be a lot of discipline as well.
Oh, that's what when you
The flags are out on the mall there, and along the route of the processions, the huge security plan is in place, as are the most dedicated of the royal fans.
that's Jade's certificate.
Celebrations like this may not be for everyone, but for some, it's a moment not to be missed.
Or Jade's school
Because it's
certificate.
part of our history, it brings joy to the country, it's what puts great in Great Britain. We started yesterday, and we'll be here, through Saturday night.
By then, by Saturday night, all the months of planning and preparation will be over. The final countdown to the coronation of a British monarch and his queen consort is well underway. Nicholas Witchell, BBC News.
Well, this is St Edward's crown, which will be placed on the head of King Charles III on Saturday. It's 360 years old. It's pretty heavy. It weighs nearly 5 pounds. And it was last worn by Queen Elizabeth II for her coronation. It's rarely left the Tower of London since. This, of course, is not the real thing. This is a digital replica. You can see here 444 jewels and gemstones, among them sapphires, rubies and topaz. And on top, a bejeweled cross with dangling beads and a monde, French for world. It represents the world of the monarch's reign. Well, it is not just King Charles III who will be crowned. There's a crown too for his wife Camilla, the Queen Mary's crown. Our royal correspondent Daniela Ralph has been talking to some of Camilla's closest friends about what kind of queen she will be.
One of their final official engagements before the coronation, the garden party at Buckingham Palace. For the Queen Consort, this weekend will be the culmination of a bumpy journey to public acceptance. Watching in Westminster Abbey will be those closest to her. Baroness Carlin Chisholm is a Queen's companion, one of 6 women who are her best friends and have been through everything with her.
Do you think she never thought this moment was going to come?
I don't think she did. Yes. I think she's surprised herself probably in how she's really risen to the role and enjoys it and how good she is at it. During the 1990s, public opinion was often hostile, the headlines brutal. And just this year in his memoir, Prince Harry said he believed his stepmother had manipulated the media to enhance her popularity. In recent years, Julian Payne has worked with the King and Queen Consort as Communications Secretary. He helped mould that public image.
You were behind the scenes, you were part of the media strategy. How did you factor that in terms of her public image?
It's certainly true that there has been a journey, that she has gone from the sort of so-called pantomime villain to perhaps a national treasure where we are now. But she was always very clear. She never wanted a PR campaign. People like me might come up with ideas as to how to improve the image. The reality
Is it that what you're looking for?
Jesus, it really is that. A minute.
Have a look through them
know her, and they would make up their own
and
mind.
see if there's any.
I remember you get doing a copy of all of them.
I think, no, they're all the squares. Just check them all anyway, because I think they're all yours.
Where the fuck's the opening?
I have known a lot of queens during my life, but Queen Camilla is my favourite. The thing about Camilla is she has had a tough life, and she has had major challenges to overcome in her life, and she is a rock solid support for our king. I think, and that relationship has not been easy, let's face it.
momentous weekend for the King and Queen Consort, their families and their friends. On a personal level, how do you think you feel when you see your friend, your long-time friend, having that crown being put on her head and then anointed as Queen?
Well, I think I'm going to take great deal of Kleenex with me. As I'm one of those people that cry at the drop of a hat. If you've got two people who you count as your friends doing this role, it's even more emotional.
Daniel Arad, BBC News.
And if you want to see the timings of how the coronation events will unfold on the day, we've got a complete guide at bbc.co.uk/news. Russia has accused the United States and Ukraine of working together on a drone attack on the Kremlin on Tuesday night, allegations denied by both Ukraine and the US. But Moscow says it is facing an unprecedented wave of sabotage from Ukraine. Our Kyiv correspondent Hugo Beshega reports.
Day after accusing Ukraine of attacking the Kremlin, Moscow suggested America was involved. The spokesman said decisions about attacks on Russia were made not in Kyiv, but in Washington. There was no evidence, but this is a familiar claim that the West is using Ukraine to wage war against Russia. Today, President Putin was seen for the first time after what Moscow described as a Ukrainian assassination attempt. The US denied having anything to do with the apparent drone attack, said the Kremlin was lying. As questions remain about what happened yesterday and who did what. In The Hague, President Zelensky visited the International Criminal Court, which has issued an arrest warrant for the Russian leader over the unlawful deportation of Ukrainian children. He called for a special tribunal to prosecute alleged Russian crimes.
We all want to see different Vladimir here in The Hague. The one who deserves to be sentenced to these criminal actions right here in the capital of the international law.
President Zelensky also asked for more support from the West, including fighter jets and tougher sanctions on Russia. Overnight, Ukrainian cities were targeted again, including the capital Kyiv. Here, officials have denied attacking the Kremlin and say Moscow could use it as an excuse for more strikes. Kherson in the south has been a frequent Russian target. Residents are leaving ahead of a curfew on the weekend. The Ukrainian offensive against Russian forces is imminent. Now, civilians are the ones on the move. BBC News.
Gunfire and loud explosions have been heard in the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, today, despite attempts to bring in a new 7-day ceasefire. Aid agencies are struggling to get much-needed humanitarian aid into the country.
If you can't get the ones that you need, take them out of the frames and use them.
British nationals have
Okay?
been flown to safety on evacuation flights, according to the latest figures from the Foreign Office, but some are still trapped. Our diplomatic correspondent Paul Adams is monitoring the situation from Nairobi and joins us now.
When we did a whole pile of copies of it, I hope we won.
Someone in Khartoum this afternoon. He had to go and sit in his car in a quiet side street because he was simply
That's it. Anything, look on them
sent me a short video of the sound
on the walls, and some of them you want, take them instead. Look at the thing. The rest of I saw a pile not so long ago, and they were yours, and I decided to keep them. I can't remember if I put them in that lot, or in that lot down there.
Said he fears that the two generals leading this battle are more intent on fighting than sitting down and talking. That had to change, he said, because otherwise aid simply cannot reach the places.
If they're not there, mate, look on the wall.
You mentioned the British
And tell me if they're on the wall.
That is now over.
No, they're them. Right, they're the main certificate. Right. When I was trying to get down up there, down the road, you did a whole copy of every single one. You did multiple copies of every single one, comma.
Anything that's on the wall that you
And you
need.
said, oh, I'm sticking in with this one.
Did he keep any down there?
You did a full copy of every single certificate. And I'm positive you did more than just one of each. And you said, right, I'm putting them with this lot.
Some of the stories they've been telling,
Check this lot, make sure we've got them in here.
Because I don't want to take the proper one and then something happens to it.
Voters will decide who runs services in 230 local councils with around 8,000 seats and 4 mayoral posts. For the first time, people voting in England will need to show a valid photo ID before casting their ballot at polling stations. Passports, driving licenses, and for disabled persons, bus passes and forms of identification will be accepted. There's been a sharp rise in measles in England, with 29 cases diagnosed since January, which is almost as many as in the whole
reckon.
security.
I reckon they're in this one.
Urging parents to make sure their children
Then I
have
double
had their
checked
full
it.
MMR
Because
vaccination
I
as protection
I saw
against
one,
measles,
it
which
says Friday the 19th.
in rare cases, measles can
Double checked it, no.
cause
Friday the 5th.
Anything on
the Metropolitan Police officer accused of unlawfully tasering
all the ones that
a
are on the wall, the
climbing
ones
on
that
a wall
we've
was
done
told the
photocopies
court
of.
he was acting in self-defense.
I'm that pile.
The man he tasered was left paralyzed.
Right, so these are the ones that are on the wall,
When
aren't they?
police body cam
Except for them
footage
three.
relating to the
No, they're the
incident
actual
was
certificates
made.
themselves.
Yeah, well, you take them.
Mahmood denies
We're
causing
bringing them back,
bodily
so
harm
take them.
unlawfully. Our Home Affairs correspondent June Kelly is outside.
That bit's in the original.
June.
Because you can easily go back in the frames once you've
Well,
done them
Sophie,
in.
it's 3 years to
Well,
the
go
day
to
since
everything
BC
there, the other one's
Imran
occupied,
Mahmood fired his taser, and Jordan Walker Brown suffered
Is everything here
life-changing
now?
injuries which had left him in a wheelchair. He
And
was
let
in
me
court
look.
today with his family to see the
Then I'll just
officer
leave it
go
then.
into the witness box at the start of
No,
his
you
evidence.
take the original
DC
thing.
Mahmood described to the jury how
Why
he was
not?
part
Well,
of a
take
police
one
patrol
too.
which was out in Haringey in North London.
No, because on my
at the start
CV
of
it
the
says,
first lockdown,
it just
and he
says
saw
this
Jordan
date,
Walker Brown
the technical
going
between
down
this
the
and
street.
this.
He said he was suspicious
But
of
I'm
him
thinking,
because he was wearing a small bag around his waist.
you get that odd interview where it'll be, have you got proof
Yeah, well, you take
of this?
take this with you.
And then you get the other interview, it's like, we don't need proof. They've done the proof themselves.
Yeah, that way if you take them, you can say, yeah, there you go, that's me. And they can say, oh yeah, but you've got the proof.
Right, come here, let's do one.
And this is when the officer discharged his taser.
You just leave it
Jordan
now,
Walker
you
Brown
won't
fell
prove.
into concrete below.
After you've been
Now,
for the interview.
this evening the
Well, you
officer
can give
left
it
court
up.
surrounded by colleagues,
And we'll
having
make
told the
recopies
jury that
of
when he
everything
fired
on
his taser,
Well, no.
he says he was
Off the
acting in
wall.
self-defense because he
Well,
said
so
Are they
could-
the ones you want?
Brown moved
Would be
towards him
that,
from
would
the
be
wall. He said
some of
he
them.
believed
Yeah.
he was carrying a weapon and
And
could
probably the
have
odd one off
caused him
there.
harm.
That's what I said.
Right.
The officer
So if you
continued
want,
his
we can easily take them out of there.
The time
And you
is
can go with them because they're the original.
getting ready for a
Right,
weekend
it's
of
still
celebrations.
proof.
The
This
Prince and
lot in
Princess
here.
of Wales behind the bars.
They're all copies of that lot.
Are all
No.
no, the different things.
They're all
aren't
different
they?
fucking levels, that lot.
This lot are all different levels.
The lot that are up here are like level 3, that's like entry level to level 2.
Yes, level 3.
6:30 will meet the 15-year-old rugby coach who's heading to the coronation after raising millions for charity.
Like the back in here.
Glitz and the glamour of Eurovision wrapped up in Liverpool on the eve of the festival's grand opening.
Oh. Yeah. Because I went through everything I've got.
Right.
The Farne Islands off the coast
Module
of
3.
Northumberland are to stay closed until the end of the summer after more
And I
cases
said
of
we'll
bird
make
Module 3 with
An outbreak
merit
last
works
year
and
left
credit.
6,000 birds dead. Seabirds are returning for
Because
this
these are
year's breeding
pictures.
season. The visitors won't be able to land there.
Automotive Constructive Engineering and Logic Student of the Year.
Trot reports.
So, what's that top one?
Sacred space for seabirds.
Listening to 4.
Around 200,000 live here. But
Probably a
now,
school, yeah,
second
school report.
season in danger. Bird flu has been confirmed.
I can't see the top one.
This year could turn into
got different things on it.
last year. And so far we've seen 30 to 40 carcasses on these islands, and we've sent away samples and we've had 3 positive samples. And we are very
we only need one copy of
limit
everything.
access and limit disturbance. With the lost
And if that's the case, then them down the road kept them.
And I've got copies. I found some, but I shoved them back in there.
Why would you have copies?
I don't know, but I had them because I looked through them. And I thought, well, how come I've got them? So they're in this pile somewhere.
Last year they collected 6,000 carcasses.
Yeah.
The National Trust
So they're your
recorded an
original.
unprecedented
If it was me and I'd go for a job, I'd take my originals, put them in the folder, say there's the proof. And if they want to do a photocopy, then that's fine. If not, then you take them back home with you. Simple as. There's no hassle, fuss or anything about it. And you've got proof right there and then.
You don't want this lot.
No. Attraction for visitors.
Would you want to take
Restrictions mean birds can
once you're at the train set?
Yeah, I would.
Diplomas and stuff.
Yeah, I would.
I'm coming along like.
Yep.
And then
Do
if
that.
they ask for it, they ask for it. If you don't, they don't.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, we can stick them back in, yeah. That's not a problem.
Which ones do you want?
I'll do these three
That's it,
ones.
that's functional skills qualification. You won't want that one. Will you? Functional skills, what's that one?
Maths and English.
That's maths and English.
Up there,
That
top
one.
one.
So you won't want that
What's
one.
the top one? I can't see it.
All I put on is from entry level
Yeah.
with a date, start date and finish date all the way down to level 3.
Right. So level 3, even I can read that.
Outbreak in
You said it there.